Nice score prediction, idiot. Hi, everyone. My name is Austin. Welcome to the post-game fan reaction of the Oilers' 6-3 drubbing of the Columbus Blue Jackets. Zach Hyman, he made his return, and he made his return well known by scoring a couple goals tonight. Evan Bouchard had a great game. Leon Draisaitl also had a couple goals. There's lots to talk about, lots of different storylines that I want to discuss. And if you're an Oilers fan, we're probably feeling a lot better today than we were even just yesterday, even maybe about an hour before puck drop. As you could tell by my pregame report this morning, I wasn't feeling good heading into this game, but the Oilers, like they do, they like to prove me wrong. They like to make me look like a little dummy during my pre-game predictions, score predictions. So I will take it, though. I'm never going to complain about a 6-3 victory. It's the Edmonton Oilers. They look great. And Connor McDavid, he was honored tonight before the game. He was given a golden stick in front of the fans to honor his 1,000-point milestone. And then he decided, you know what? Let's channel my inner Wayne Gretzky and dish out 4 apples. You absolutely love to see it for Connor McDavid. And the team in general, the entire team played very well tonight. Other than the first 10 minutes of that first period, they looked a little shaky, a little bit slow to kind of get going. But once they were able to score their first goal of the game, floodgates opened up, and you had a feeling that was going to happen, especially after how the Vegas game went, where the Oilers had all those opportunities, especially in tight towards the crease. Tonight, they were able to get a goal, and then the floodgates opened. Really good to see for the Oilers. Kevin Labanc, he did open the scoring very early for Columbus, though. Very fluky goal. He shot a puck that went off of a couple Blue Jackets. LeBanc ended up being the last one to touch it, so he made it 1-0 for the Blue Jackets. Then Zach Hyman, he got onto the score sheet by scoring his 4th goal of the year, about 7 minutes after that first goal for the Blue Jackets. So that was really good to see. That was assisted by McDavid and Bouchard. And then Draisaitl in the second period, very early, he made it 2-1 Edmonton with his 18th of the season, assisted by McDavid and Bouchard once again. Then Mattias Ekholm, he scored a power play goal. The second unit came on after the first unit went off, assisted by Jeff Skinner and Adam Henrique. There's a reason why we want Jeff Skinner to get a little bit more ice time, especially in situations where he is able to be utilized properly. Power play, and of course, in the top 6, playing with skilled players. Now, tonight, that second unit power play, he managed to get an assist, and then he was able to score later as well. He was able to score late in the second period. There's about a minute and a half left in the second. So for Jeff Skinner, hopefully that's a sign that his game is turning around. He had a really good game against the Vegas Golden Knights, so I'm happy to see him get a couple points as well. Hyman with his 5th of the season, his 2nd of the game, about 2 minutes after that power play goal from Nugent Hopkins and Connor McDavid. Damon Severson, he then made it 4-2, but the Oilers, they answered back later in that second. That was Jeff Skinner's goal, assisted by Adam Henrique and Matthias Janmark. Adam Henrique with a couple of apples tonight as well. Third period, Cole Sillinger, he made things interesting, made it 5-3. I would say pretty early in the third, about 6 minutes in. However, Leon Draisaitl, he had enough of that. He scored on the power play as the Oilers buried Columbus. They had that killer instinct. Being able to get a couple power play goals tonight was great. Seeing the team get rewarded with power plays was also really good. They had 0 against Vegas. They had 5 power plays tonight. They ended up going 2 for 5 on the power play. And on the penalty kill, they killed the only 2 penalties that they took, which is terrific. This penalty kill has really turned things around. You absolutely love to see it. The Oilers absolutely dominated the face-off dot as well, winning 63% of the draws. They outshot the Blue Jackets 37-22. And the hits, not a lot of hits in this game, 15-12. Block shots, 18-16, pretty even. Giveaways, 11-10, pretty even. Takeaways, Columbus had 2 more than Edmonton, but it didn't really matter in the end, of course. The Oilers win 6-3, and there's a couple players I did want to talk about, and, just a couple little things, just to take care of. A little bit of business to take care of. Nugent Hopkins, he had a great game. He had 2 assists. Jeff Skinner, goal and an assist. Draisaitl, 2 goals. It's probably a lot easier if I just show everyone the screen that I look at for all of these stats here. Janmark, he had an assist. He was a -1, though. I'm not too worried about it. Connor Brown, he had a great opportunity in the third period with a pretty much wide open net once again, just like he did against Vegas, but he just absolutely whiffed and was unable to score. Poor Connor Brown. Hopefully he's able to pot a couple here soon. Remember, if Connor Brown scores a hat trick in a game, I buy his jersey, and I will prove to everyone that I buy his jersey as well. So I'm rooting for Connor Brown to get that hat trick. Kapanen and Podkolzin, they did not get on the score sheet tonight in terms of point scoring. However, I thought they played very well. They had a really really effective game with Draisaitl. So that's really good to see. They continue to play really good hockey. And of course, they will be rewarded with a bit more goals, hopefully soon. Bouchard with 2 assists, Ekholm with a goal. The Oilers once again get another goal from a defenseman. Pretty sure they lead the league in goals from defensemen, or at least goal percentage from defensemen, so that's great. Nurse had another real solid game tonight. He was probably the best defenseman for the team. He did not get any points, but he did log the most minutes for D-men with 23-18. Calvin Pickard, he finished the night with an .864 save percentage, gave up 3 goals on 22 shots. He had 19 saves. And for Calvin Pickard, I would say 2 of the goals against were just really fluky. There's nothing that he could have done, but at least he was given some offensive support. I talked about that in the pregame report. I thought it was going to be Stuart Skinner getting the start, so I had mentioned that I really want the team to give their goaltending just a little bit more run support. Tonight, they obviously did that. I don't think it would have mattered who was in goal. The Oilers putting up 6 goals on the board. You're going to win probably 19 out of 20 games if you're putting up 6 goals on the board, unless it's like that crazy Vancouver-Minnesota game last year where I think Minnesota beat Vancouver 8-7. Can't remember what the score was. Pretty outrageous. But for the Edmonton Oilers, they get back in the win column. They are now 8-3-1 in their last 12 games. And for all the talk about the lack of goal scoring, the lack of depth, it's really funny. And I get caught up in this too. I get caught up in the doomer mentality. After every loss, it's the end of the world. The team sucks. They have too many problems that they need to address. And then after every win, we're all calm and happy. And I do the same thing. I'm like, this team's back. They are 100% back. No issues at all. This team is perfectly built. Absolutely zero flaws on this roster. Obviously, we know that the team long-term, they're going to turn it around even more. Yes, they are 8-3-1 in their last 12, which is great. 8 wins in 12 games. That's awesome. If they did that the rest of the year, they likely finish near the top of the Pacific Division standings. Losing that game in regulation to Vegas sucks in a vacuum because you want them to sucks in a vacuum. Sorry. I don't know what I'm doing. I got home from work late, so my brain is just kind of scattered. But like I said, in a vacuum, it's suboptimal because you want the team to gain on the teams that are ahead of them, especially in their division, especially when it comes to potential home ice advantage and matchups for the postseason. You want the optimal matchups. Everyone says it doesn't matter, just get in. I still like the idea of an optimal matchup. At minimum, home ice advantage for round 1. At absolute minimum, just to give yourself as much of an advantage as possible so that once you do get in, you can try and clean things up as quickly as possible before the playoff grind moves forward. Of course, the playoff grind is something that we are not going to talk about until the team actually clinches their playoff spot. I will also talk briefly about Team Canada's roster. I was asked by a few people on social media what my thoughts were on Zach Hyman being omitted and Evan Bouchard being omitted from that team. I understand the logic in not bringing either of them. For Evan Bouchard, it's tough because Cale Makar kind of fills that power play role, that puck moving role. So Evan Bouchard, that's his biggest strength, is puck moving and being a power play quarterback. Now, obviously, not everyone agrees. The 5-on-5 metrics. Evan Bouchard likely deserves to be on that team over a player like Colton Parayko. But Armstrong, who is the GM of the St. Louis Blues, of course, they're going to bring their guy. They're going to bring some size. They're going to bring a little bit of physicality. And there's always a certain style that Canada wants. They want a good mix of skill and size and grit and goal scoring. And this happened in 2014 as well, I believe. I think it was the 2014 Olympics where I'm pretty sure they brought PK Subban over Chris Letang on Team Canada. And there was a huge discourse around that. And then PK Subban ended up only playing 1 game. So, it's Team Canada. I understand the logic. Would I have liked to see Bouchard there? Absolutely. And for Zach Hyman, he's been injured a lot this season. We know he hasn't been 100% even before he went on injured reserve and missed games. Even when he was playing, something just didn't look right. He played himself off of Team Canada by not being able to produce for most of the season. However, what matters most to me, even though I am excited to watch the Four Nations Cup, what matters most is these players being healthy and getting the rest that they deserve and then producing for the Edmonton Oilers. At the end of the day, I want to see this team win a Stanley Cup. I want to see them have success in the regular season, make the playoffs, finish high up in the standings, and win a Stanley Cup. I like the Olympics a lot more than whatever this Four Nations Cup is going to be. I'm not outright saying that I'm not excited for the Four Nations Cup because I am. I'm excited to see guys like McKinnon play with Crosby, guys like McDavid playing with Crosby as well. I'm excited to see some of these legacy forwards to get a chance to play with other, more modern forwards. because there's always uncertainty with the Olympics. They haven't been able to go to the Olympics since 2014, I believe. So in that aspect, I am excited. But at the end of the day, my focus is on the NHL team. And that 2-week period where they're going to be off in February is super beneficial. We don't need guys like Bouchard going, blocking a shot, breaking their hand or something, and not being able to go for the postseason. Same with Zach Hyman. If he's injured now, it's good to potentially just grind what he can until that Four Nations Cup. Take the 2 weeks off, rest for everybody, rest for every single player, and then hope that guys like Evander Kane will be ready to come back soon as well. So that's kind of my whole thought process on the Four Nations Cup and certain players that were omitted. Stuart Skinner, obviously he didn't deserve to be there because he has not played up to standard. Not enough this season to have warranted making it over someone like Binnington or Sam Montembeault. So I'm not concerned there. For Stuart Skinner, again, the focus is finding his game at the NHL level and helping the Edmonton Oilers win. That is my thoughts, not only on the post-game recap, but also the Four Nations Cup, because I had a few people ask me about it, and I did want to address it tonight. So thank you all so much for tuning in. It truly means the world. Your support always means the world to me. I am humbled every single day by everyone who does tune in, that hits the like button, that comments. And even if you don't comment and you don't hit the like button and you still tune in and you enjoy my content, that is something that I truly appreciate as well. It means the world to me. I will see you all for the pregame report on Saturday morning before the Oilers take on the St. Louis Blues. Yes, Philip Broberg and Dylan Holloway are going to be back in Edmonton for the first time since they signed their offer sheets. I'm curious to see what the crowd reaction is going to be. I'm assuming there is going to be a lot of boo birds for both players, even though, rightfully or wrongfully, they will get that. It'll be fun to watch. Hopefully Holloway and Broberg do not get a single point against Edmonton. However, we know historically former Oilers always end up scoring against the team. So let's see if the Oilers can lock them down and show them why they should have signed with the Oilers instead of with the St. Louis Blues. And hopefully Edmonton can come out with a big win on Saturday. Thank you all so much. Truly appreciate it. Make sure you tell someone that you love them. Oh God, hold on. I forgot the victory chain. I said it. I cleaned my room earlier. You know what? Does this count? If I remember the victory chain before the end of the video, do I still have to gift another 5 memberships during my next live stream? Because that's what I had to do after the Utah game because I had forgotten it. And I forgot to put it on at the start of this video. So you know what? I remembered before the end. I'm finding the loophole. I'm not gifting another 5 memberships on Tuesday against Tampa, which will be my next live stream, by the way. It counts. I got it in right in the nick of time. Tell someone that you love them and always fight like a kid. Always fight like Ben. Thank you all so much, Oil Country. Take care. We'll see you soon.